yes, I was staying up till 6 or 7 in the morning or whatever, and not getting paid, whatever. But it's like, wait, I kind of miss that.
Yeah.
I miss not making, like, what? You miss not making, but it's like, bro, it wasn't about the not making money. It was about being around all these creative individuals like, oh, what's up? There's Metro Boomin. Oh, what's up, Southside? Like, yeah, what you need, and like getting to actually be in those sessions. It's like, what? The old me would have been killing for these opportunities,
Yo, what's going on, man? You are now listening to the Thank God for Growth podcast, hosted by me, Trill, and my dog Major, man.
What's going on, y'all boys?
Hey, man, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. How you living, man?
Man, I'm good, but we got a special guest in the building.
First guest ever. You feel me?
First guest.
The one and only Mileage.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
We got the little crowd applause in the background.
Mileage, turn me up.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, thanks.
How you feeling,
Appreciate
bro?
y'all having me.
No doubt.
Pretty
no
good.
doubt.
Yeah, honestly, it's a good day. Loving the vibes. Walked in here instantly, and I knew, all right, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, man.
It's a good day.
Factual,
Facts,
man.
No complaints.
That's how I'm feeling, man. Got the producer extraordinaire, engineer extraordinaire. I call him the best engineer in Atlanta. Man, Miles, man. So, tell everybody about yourself, man. How you got here?
How I got here? Well, I woke up about 7 a.m. today. I'm proud of myself. That's a new goal.
Hey, let's clap for that. We
of
feel
this
it. We
year.
feel it.
And then I went to the gym and got some mixes done. Then I drove here, and then now I'm here. But I guess to answer your question maybe a little bit more full, I don't know, man. Atlanta's the place to be for music, right?
Yeah.
So everybody says.
That's
least.
what they say, man.
So
yeah.
I don't know. It's just been the place to be, and coming from the South, we're all homegrown Southern guys from that kind of stuff. So it just like made sense to be up here, and I don't know, man. Like one thing's just led to the next, and luckily has kept me here so far. So yeah,
I feel that. I
can't
feel
really. There's obviously a lot of little steps in between that things have happened, which
Yeah,
I'm
for
sure we'll
sure.
kind of go into. But
For sure.
yeah, I mean, in general, no, this is just a place I kind of always wanted to be.
No, I feel that. Same here, bro.
Man, how long y'all have known each other? Okay, for those who don't know, these guys have made hits together.
Facts.
Some in the public right now, out to the public for you to hear right now. Some that's unreleased, some stuff we can't talk about. You feel me? Yeah. But they're always working together, man. So how'd y'all even link up? How'd y'all meet, man?
Wasn't it through Sherm?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was through. Shout out Sherm, man.
Shout out Sherm on that
Band
one.
Boys.
Yeah, and honestly, it was definitely like 2019. So it was almost right after, like the first time I noticed at least was like right when I moved to Atlanta or something. Because I was like still interning up at Mean Street at the time, and I remember like being up there, and then I got some melody packs in my email, and then I was like, oh man, these are fire, and like, it just kind of like became a routine. At least once a week you're sending me melodies or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I again from there it then like grew into more, and we would chop it up and talk about the struggles of being a producer and that kind of stuff, but then also just like motivating each other type thing too,
sure.
and that's what's nice is like I feel like we all have people that are all in our circle that we can just kind of come to for advice or help motivate them and all that, because I mean honestly I think we all need that kind of stuff at all times.
Yeah, that's true.
No matter where you're at the totem pole. Like I don't care where people think I'm at in the totem pole. I'm like, nah, I still need that. It doesn't matter that I've had this level of success or whatever. It's like, nah.
What I be saying, bro, don't get comfortable, man.
We can't, bro.
You can't always accept every win. You feel me? It's like, okay, you gotta be like, I got it, I did it. What's next?
Right.
Like always feel like what's next. In my opinion.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, I know you said coming up here 2019, so that's like, when did the pandemic start? Like end of 2019?
Like March.
Start of 2020, yeah.
Top of 2020. So how did that affect you creatively with like your sessions and stuff? Because what you do, you have to be, face to face with people. How'd that work for you?
I mean, honestly, moment of silence for everybody in the pandemic. That was whack. And I mean, we're still dealing with it. Here we are, 2022.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with it. And I feel like we're still going to have to kind of push past it for a little bit longer. really hoping it's almost over with.
Yeah.
It better be.
Facts.
Facts. For real.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, it just, I don't know, it's weird to say this, but still, even in the moment when it happened, I was like, oh, this is a blessing for sure. Like, and again, it was kind of just like, whoa, what, bro, this is not a blessing, like all these crazy things happening. But I'm just saying, like, to me personally, with how my life was going and this trajectory I was on, like working 50, 60 hours a week, interning, not making any money, like literally just wondering every day, like, what am I doing? Like, yes, I'm pursuing the music career and stuff, but what was I actually doing? What did I have to show for? Nothing.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing. The fact that like, oh yeah, I ran into so-and-so last night, or like, you know, those are like the little things that were like keeping me going through. Like I feel like each week I had something cool happen where I got to pop in a session of Jack Harlow, or, oh, I saw Playboi Carti and I got to help out in that session, and like whatever, like all these little things that kept happening. But for the most part, like, again, the pandemic came around and I was like, oh, I can like get a breather and go back home and honestly like reset my mind and just in general. And again, for me, I was thinking like, just like everybody else was like, all right, we're just going to go home, you know, or have a break from the studio or whatever for like a week, you know, and then, all right, I'm like, man, it's like a little spring break type thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And then obviously, you know, looking at it now, I'm still just like, wow, this is like not a spring break thing. This is like this long
summer vacation type of situation.
I mean, literally longer than summer, like a whole year, 2-year
whole
vacation.
year.
It's not a vacation. It's been like a struggle for real, obviously with the pandemic and stuff. But it was nice that, again, that like helped me reset, get my mind right. And then we linked in Savannah for that session. And that was like still like such a dope pinnacle moment for I feel like all of us to like really get to link.
We was supposed to meet at that studio?
No, we did.
Was that session?
Yeah, that was the first time. No,
because remember the first time we sat out in the car, we were just waiting out in the car for like an hour. Honestly, it was like 2 hours.
I'm gonna put a clip of that in
and
here.
we cooked up in the car, making some
Facts.
fire.
We're gonna put a clip.
That was hard.
Yeah.
That's the weird part that I have to ask you about. That I'm like,
oh, that goddamn
the
other piano.
No, I had to like go and chop the timing a little. It got off beat for some reason.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know what's up with that piano. That's
But I made it work.
They be doing that.
This is like this weird bass pad.
Shit tough.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, I'm here, we're here, like, we got the laptops, let's just cook up.
Moment, bro.
Well, yeah, you feel me?
Yeah, and for me, like, the Savannah, like, I drove from my house, like, 30 minutes or something, which still, Atlanta people know 30 minutes is nothing. That's like every day I'm driving 30 minutes to go somewhere type stuff. But at least for that, I was like, yeah, let's make the best of it. And again, like, seeing that experience helped, like, lead into, all right, I haven't lost the fire. I haven't, you know, I didn't let the intern studio life like eat me alive and just like make me hate music or whatever. Because I've seen that happen to so many people, and like there's so many people that I worked with too that, you know, for other reasons, not just for whatever. Like, I don't know exactly what happened, but people fizzle out real quick.
Yeah.
You get tested instantly, and it's like, oh, nah, he can't handle it, or oh, she can't handle it. You know, and then you get kind of stuck just being like, now what? Or oh, how do I make this music thing work? And it's like, I mean, it's not easy. Yeah. And just because this buddy's story took 3 months, yours could take 3 years.
Yeah.
Yours could take 13 years, for Pete's sake. Like, there's all these different things, and we're all different, and we all have different opportunities that are meant for us and other things that are not meant for us. Even if it's like painted in gold and seems like, oh man, he's from my hometown. Like, this is the artist like I gotta work with. Like, you know, there's so many different things. But again, it was nice to, like I said, have all those things happen, and then coming back up to Atlanta completely refreshed and being like, all right, let's do this for real this time.
Right.
You know, and again, not that I was messing around or not doing things the right way the first 8 months of me being in Atlanta, but I was just really grateful to have that time away.
Yeah.
Right.
To be like, oh, wait, these things, yes, it's important, you know, to pursue your career and do what you love, but at the same time, it's like, oh, wait, family is really important, and like
very much
getting
so.
to just take time off and like do something else other than sitting at your computer every day making beats or recording people, you know. And that was like the first time in forever that I actually had a break, because my whole life has been one thing after the next, and I got practice, and then I got a game, and then I have this project I got to work on with so and so, and then school, and it's just like, dang, bro, it's like never ends.
Yeah.
Which like it's a good thing. I'm grateful it never ends, but
At the same time, you need that
you really gotta
balance.
view it from
I'm talking
both
about it.
angles, you know.
Yeah.
And again,
Crazy.
we all like are hungry and want these things, but at the same time, like, man, when Sunday comes around, I'm like, oh, yes.
Yeah, but you
My
gotta
day
enjoy it
off,
because it
like-
don't last long.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Sundays do not
definitely
last long, bro.
it never
Right,
lasts
really
long
don't.
enough, but
Yeah, that's true.
still, I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have it that way than every day feeling like, oh, I'm chilling, I'm not doing anything. Like, oof. Once you sink into that for a little bit too long, it's like, oh man, this is mad. So that to me, just to kind of like sum up the pandemic, is like obviously towards the end, it got to that point where it was like, all right, I'm chilling a little too
Yeah,
much now,
yeah,
or
I
like,
feel
all right,
that.
I am missing. Yes, I was staying up till 6 or 7 in the morning or whatever, and not getting paid, whatever. But it's like, wait, I kind of miss that.
Yeah,
I miss not making, like, what? You miss not making, but it's like, bro, it wasn't about the not making money. It was about being around all these creative individuals like, oh, what's up? There's Metro booming. Oh, what's up, Southside? Like, yeah, what you need, and like getting to actually be in those sessions. It's like, what? The old me would have been killing for these opportunities,
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's all important to like at least be able to zoom out and see, oh wow, this all happened like for a reason. And again, you got to at least have that viewpoint from it and make it make sense for you. Or else you're going to look at everything in your life like, oh, why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? You're just going to like be so negative about things.
yeah.
We got to realize like a lot of the way things pan out are probably way better than you could have even imagined.
Yeah,
Facts.
that is true, man. That's
And I'm like,
definitely
yo, none of this is in our control, right? Like
It ain't.
who's in control? I mean, I don't want to make this like a preachy podcast or anything, but I'm like,
Thank God for growth.
thank God for growth, for real. You just got to leave it up to him, because what else are you going to do?
stress, struggle.
It's all destiny, man. It's all destiny.
Yeah.
I always feel like everything is supposed to happen the way it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's up to you to make the decisions for your life. But whatever you decide, it was supposed to happen that way. You know what I mean? That's how I really feel.
Exactly. And then like to me too, it's like people that come into your life, and then the people that stay in your life, the people that like it all like happens for a reason as well.
That's true.
Facts.
It's definitely true.
And this sounds like some like some sorority girl that's stuck on her astrological sign. It sounds like, oh, everything happens for a reason. But I'm like, no,
It's
I'm
true.
saying it from like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
for
complete other perspective. Like,
Yeah.
it is so true. It really is.
Sure. Nah,
yeah.
facts.
Folks just got to tap in and understand.
Exactly.
Really,
And then again, too, that's why I just feel like, how else can we look at the pandemic? We can't keep looking at it negatively, man. We
Can't.
gotta,
look at
You
it
got to
the positive
adjust to it,
side,
bro.
yeah.
It's like a
You
new
got
way
to.
of living. It's like you either get with it or you get with it. You ain't got no choice.
facts.
At the end of the day, you got to do what makes you happy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
So
Exactly.
That's all it is.
That is true, man.
So yeah, basically the pandemic led into all that.
Oh, that,
and
nah, I feel it. I feel
this is
it,
gonna
bro.
keep happening a lot. So,
Nah, I feel that,
but
man.
no, I appreciate that question. That's fire.
I got one more question before I let y'all talk about to the producer, viewers and everything. I
Facts.
know you spoke on some sessions like Jack Harlow and all them like that. What's your favorite session that you've done in your entire career so far?
Okay, we have to clarify the difference. So like session that I've like done and been a part of and like recorded and contributed, or just a session that I was like able to like walk in on and
Contribute.
witness for a second.
We could do both.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because yeah, I mean,
whichever
there's
one
like,
that you
What about one
contributed
of
to.
each?
Yeah, one of each, yeah.
all right, fair enough. Because I'm like, yeah, there's definitely like a difference between the two. But still, I mean, I think it's cool to see that, again, even in sessions that, okay, I'm just walking in once every hour or two, that's still an impact. I'm still like helping or like screwing up the vibe. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that was kind of cool to really realize like the importance of what an assistant does at a recording studio and stuff. So anyways, I'll just like touch base on that one first, and then probably go into like my favorite big session or something like that. But yeah, probably my favorite one that I was a part of, or one that I like walked in on and helped out throughout the whole night. I don't even want to say it because of like big names or anything crazy. But I don't know. There was one like, I think it was Lil Durk.
It's dope.
It was one of the sessions. I mean, wow, this was early 2020, like kind of right before the pandemic, like February. But like I remember whenever they pulled up to the studio, I had already helped the engineer get set up and get all his stuff ready to go. And then, anyways, like they pulled up to the studio, and I walked in, and again, just like instantly, it's kind of like, all right, let's like help make them. Obviously, I'm knowing, okay, he's been here before, and this, that, and the other, but it was kind of just like, all right, hey, this is my job and my responsibility to like make sure they're feeling welcomed and like their vibe's perfect and whatever. And then luckily, you know, like I helped walk them into the studio and stuff, and then, you know, they're getting their session started, and like an hour later I'm checking in with them and, you know, walking in. But it was just kind of like that whole night I just kept feeling like more and more reassured of like them being like, dang, okay, like, yo, we like actually appreciate you, you know, because for that longest time, for 8 months, I kept feeling like, wow, no one cares about me. Like, I'm like scum of the earth, man. I'm the one taking out the trash and doing all this like unsung hero stuff. And I'm so used to like being the unsung hero and things anyways, as like engineers are literally the unsung heroes of the music industry as it is. But then, you know, being like the assist man growing up and stuff, but like to have someone like that actually, like you can tell that like, oh, they look you in your eyes and are like, oh yeah, like we respect you, or like, oh, okay, hey, we appreciate that. Yeah. You know, as opposed to just other people, I'm bringing them food or helping getting them their backwoods or whatever, and they're just like, whatever, bro. You know, not even thankful. Like, they don't give a crap.
I'm helping you catch your vibe to make this wonderful music that
I always feel like, bro, he don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's why people should be grateful for stuff like that. But,
exactly. And again, I kept like trying to stress people. I'm like, I'm doing this for free. Yeah. For me, it was like not for free. I'm like, I'm doing this because I love your music and I respect you as an artist. Mm-hmm. And I was doing that with artists that I didn't even really like and all that stuff too, obviously, because it's my job. But at the same time, like, I don't know, there was something about like doing whatever you could to just kind of go above and beyond for that kind of stuff. And again, to me, not trying to be like this suck up and being all like, oh yeah, like I'll do anything for you. Like there's a difference between like moving the right way and then being so like, oh my gosh, bro, like chill, we're good, you know, like, hey, we got everything under control over here.
Overdoing it, bro.
Yeah. So I feel like, again, that was just like one of the, like a good confirming moment for me that it was just kind of like, oh, okay. Thank goodness someone cares about me, or someone like actually values what I bring to the table. Right. And again, to me, the whole time I was just thinking, I'm like, you don't know what I could bring value wise to your beats or to like the mix or whatever, you know, but I'm like, man, it's still awesome to see, like the way that like those little things kind of pan out. And then just like fast forward, like one of the sessions that I was involved with, honestly, this is like an ironic session, but I had a session with Southside and Doughboy. And that was a lot of fun one night. It was like a 12-hour session. Oh, really? And yeah, it was like, oh, really? Like, yeah, so it was really 12 hours. But I like, it was the same kind of thing in that experience where, okay, I'm like the engineer of the session and I'm supposed to be recording them and this, that, and the other. And honestly, like the whole time, I really just got to sit back and watch Pyrex and Southside just make beats. Like, and to me,
that's hard.
That's hard for real. Like what? That's like a producer's dream. But then again, obviously I had to be ready to record at like 2 or 3 in the morning whenever we actually started recording. And we went till like 6:30 that morning, but it was still just one of those things where I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that I get to be here and do this. And again, it wasn't the glorious session where I walked out being like, oh, I just recorded 12 songs and da-da-da-da-da. And all of them went platinum. And what, like, because other engineers have these stories and crazy sessions. And for me, I'm like, I mean, the session like wasn't anything that crazy, but to me, like I said, the experience behind it and like just getting to, like I said, getting to feel that respect of like, oh, yo, like we actually, like we rock with you as an engineer or as a person, as like, you know, I'm involved in the conversations. It's like I'm in that room for 12 hours. So you better hope they like you, or you better hope you're not a weirdo. Because if you are, I mean, I have tons of thug horror stories that I've heard from other engineers. They're like, yeah, bro, he just kicked the other engineer out. And for me, like always coming up, hearing that, I'm like, I can't be that guy. I can't be that guy. Like, oh, that scares me, bro. Like your favorite artist or like one of your favorite rappers just kicks you out. It's like, yo, you're trash, bro. Get out.
He gonna take over like he did on that picture with him and Dirk. I'm like, I got it.
I mean, but that ain't you though. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I be feeling like at the end of the day, if you be yourself, that's not gonna happen.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If you just trying to do the most,
naturally,
that's when it happens. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, and that's what's awesome too. Is like, once you get around those situations, and again, luckily it was to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm around these types of people, and like certain artists, I'm like, oh, I'm seeing them every day. So it's not, oh my gosh, it's Wiz Khalifa. Oh my gosh, it's whoever, Future. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's Future. Cool. What's up?
Another guy.
You know,
Yeah.
luckily, you know, because other people again will fold under those situations or whatever, and I don't know, it's just kind of crazy to think back on that. But still, it's nice to have those experiences that again lead into like the everyday work that I do now. And again, I'm not working with the giant superstar artists that are on the billboards and this and the other. But to me, I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter, because all these rules and like experiences that I learned from them help me so much with anybody on the totem pole.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fact.
all this knowledge transfers. It doesn't matter of, oh, well, you have to work with this big artist to learn this. Like, no, it comes down to simple things that you can learn. Like, I learned half these things in Savannah recording my friends, for real. And then now I'm just getting to apply it with the big artists,
Yeah.
you know, every once in a while when I get the call, you know?
Right.
So it's pretty cool that, really, like I said, to just realize, all right, we're all humans at the end of the day.
Right.
Let's just treat this as such, and like, let's make good music, because that's really what matters. Nothing else.
Yeah. That's fact.
And
That
sometimes
was a gym.
yeah, facts. And sometimes we'll spend like 6 hours talking. We didn't make any
Word.
music.
Nah, for real though. It'd be
Like
that.
they booked their session with me to just talk, and I'm kind of like, you didn't get on the mic once. Like at first, I'd be always like, no, what? Like, why didn't this happen? Then now I'm just kind of like, whatever, man. That was dope. Or like, hey, we had a good conversation,
Yeah.
and like no one else has to know about our conversation. Like, sure, I don't have anyone. Oh, hey, bro, what'd you make in the studio last night? I don't really have anything to show you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I had a cool conversation with
Sometimes
these
those
artists
mean,
or whatever.
Those mean I feel like sometimes those mean more than creating the music.
Yeah.
The music is important.
Oh, yeah,
It's like you have to
always.
have that connection.
Yeah, you
with who
build
you're
that
working
chemistry.
with.
You feel me? That's
Yeah,
what
and
it
like the
is.
relationship too.
Exactly.
Because to me, like, I want to have a relationship outside of the music too. If like that's all we can do is just make music, then I'm gonna get bored. Honestly, I'm gonna just be like, you're not that fun to be around, or you're kind of a weirdo, or you're kind of just like awkward. You can't have a conversation about anything or
Yeah,
whatever.
other than
So
music, right. Yeah.
I don't know,
Right.
but I think too the studio's like that. It's kind of a secret, special place for that stuff, because it's literally like most people's sanctuaries. Like especially with the big artists, because that's the only place they can go to actually feel safe and to
Yeah.
get away from the world and the paparazzi and dealing with the drama and whatever. And I'm like, man, we think we have drama, but I'm like,
Yeah.
guess how much drama celebrities have,
No,
bro?
that's
Like
Right.
Times
10 times 100
Can't
for
even
real.
go to the grocery store type of thing.
Yeah,
Nah,
you
yeah.
can't even
feel me?
fathom it. Like it just doesn't even cross our mind, because we're thinking too small.
Right.
You know, but I'm saying you have to, once you're around them more and more and more, you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. But then again, you grow this like empathy and
I was just
and
about
this
to
like
say that.
understanding of like, oh, okay, that's why they're this way
you gotta
sometimes.
move a certain
you
way,
know,
yeah.
And to me too, I'm like, I'm not sitting here trying to excuse all of their actions and stuff. It doesn't mean you can be a jerk all the time or anything,
right.
but still, you get to you like start to understand what's going on in their mind a lot more.
Yeah.
And for me, I can't make music with someone if I don't really know what's going on in your mind.
That's fact.
Facts, bro. That's facts. So, man, how'd you get to start making music, bro?
Ooh, how did I get my start? Bro, piano lessons, for real, for real.
Okay.
That's the honest answer. Like, piano lessons when I was like 8 or something. I think it was at my church. And it was really, I was just kind of like, man, what? We had to like drive like 30 minutes, and, you know, we had this like classroom that was all set up with the pianos and stuff. And I'm just like, this was cool, but I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, why do I have to do this? And I don't know, I just like looked at that way with a lot of things, like with my mom that she kind of made me do, and my dad like would make me do things sometimes, but the way my mom makes me do things is completely different, you know? So anyways, I feel like it started with the piano lessons from there, and then for some reason, bro, like all my like teachers with music, they all like eventually moved away or like stopped teaching or something, and I was just always like, I found myself kind of at the ground zero again, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm just like not gonna, you know, play piano anymore or whatever.
Right.
And then a couple years later, I like segued into finding like another piano teacher. I can't say I was actively looking, but we just like, my mom like ran into someone, I think someone that like she coached in soccer. Their like older sister was really good at piano and went to Savannah Arts, like the big music art school in Savannah.
Yeah.
So anyways, like she kind of taught me from there, and that was like, definitely a testing time trying to learn the piano. Cause it's like, bro, I didn't really love it. I love music. I've always loved music. I've always been jamming music. And, you know, that's like, no one could take that away from me. But trying to learn it was like such a different approach of like, how do I grasp this concept that's so diverse and so widespread from like, you know, listening to like Led Zeppelin from my dad's influence and like blues and stuff. We'd be listening to like the Savannah State Blues radio after like baseball games, and I'm listening to like B.B. King and all these other artists, and I'm just like, whoa, there's kind of like no rules in this music. But then, you know, in my mom's car, it's like, all right, we're listening to the radio and, you know, like just alternative music and pop music that's on the radio at the time growing up and all that stuff. And then again, my siblings had completely different music tastes. Like my brother's like listening to like emo, screamo, rock kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, I kind of rock with that. But then he's like jamming Outkast other days. And I'm like, wait, who's that? Like I remember like this crazy moment was like, I heard Bombs Over Baghdad one day. And I was just like, yo, this is fire. Like, oh my gosh. And we were like playing video games or something. But I heard that song and I'm like, this is insane.
That song is crazy.
And then right next to us in our room, like my sister was jamming No Doubt, like Gwen Stefani back in the day, and like OG Maroon 5, like 2005 Maroon 5. And I'm just kind of like, I have all this like weird music going on. So anyways, so like when I was trying to learn piano, I'm just kind of like, wait, what? Like, how do I play? Or I don't want to play these bonk tunes. Like, these little
started
piano like
songs. Yeah,
there's like some, I forgot what, there was some song that I was playing that I was just like, this is kind of trash. I don't really like, why do I have to learn this song? You know what I mean? Like, and again, it's very regimented and like there's rules, but I'm looking at the rock stars and all the other people. I'm like, they don't really have rules, or they're kind of just like making whatever they want. So then anyways, that's why I kind of fell off with the whole structured learning. And, you know, fast forward, I take guitar lessons for, I feel like 2 or 3 months. And my dad got me a guitar and all that stuff. And, you know, I could tell that everyone like wanted me to keep trying to learn music, but like it was like nothing that stuck. And then eventually, like 6th or 5th grade comes around. Did you guys play concert band in 5th grade, like middle school kind of stuff too?
Yeah, in high school too.
Fire, yeah.
I think in middle school, I
Did you have to?
I think it was a part of the curriculum or something like that. You had to be a part of.
That's kind of hard. That's good. At least they like kind of forced you to see like, hey, do you have musical talent or not? Did you stick with it or not really?
I mean, I was playing the saxophone in elementary to middle school, and then in middle school they put me on the tuba for some reason. I did not like the tuba.
And those are like completely different.
Yeah, it's very different. So I was just like,
you went from the woodwinds to the brass.
Yeah, so I just.
It makes sense if you like went from trumpet to tuba.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
That's like a not that easy of a transition, but like
You still gotta do the
it
same,
makes sense.
Yeah, same movement.
They're like cousins, you know.
Yeah, damn, those were distant cousins, not even family members. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did you bad. Well, see, that's what I'm saying is like it's so important that of the band teachers and all this of America, like you guys are playing such a crucial role in like early childhood development, but also like let them play whatever they want to play. You see what I'm saying? Not because don't make me play this instrument because, we need a tuba player. That's what it sounds like happened to you. And to me, I'm just kind of like, wow, you just threw his musical talent under the bus.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, what if you were bound to be this crazy saxophone player?
That's what I thought at a young age.
You know? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. No one here would know, actually. But it's just like, it's annoying. And then, you know, it goes back to the same thing in sports where it's like, I get it. It's a team sport, and the band's a team thing too. But it's like, yo, if I want to play midfield, let me play midfield. Don't make me play defense. Or if I want to play power forward, let me play power forward. Don't make me play guard. Or same thing in football. Like, why am I on the offensive line when, bro, I can tackle? Put me on D.
Right.
I didn't play offensive line. I'm just like,
no,
I'm not an offensive lineman. Are you trying to block the quarterback? Nah, I'm not blocking for the quarterback. I'm gonna go tackle him.
I didn't like it either, bro. I didn't like offensive line.
Yeah, no, it's whack. But see, like to me, this is all. I'm like, I'm waking up being like, wow, this is crazy that we all kind of again, when we're growing up, we kind of just have to go through things. And again, there's a lot of good in that. But it's nice that, again, we get to a certain age where it's like, oh, I can kind of do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous thing for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is.
You can also use it to your advantage where you're like, oh, wait, I can finally, I always wanted to play drums. I'm going to just go start making beats. Like that's kind of like where it all eventually led to. And I was trying to get to that point, but obviously we like, I'm always like sidetracking and then like trying to bring it back. But yeah, it was cool to see that concert band was like a key moment, I think, for me, and I'm sure for you, and that like upbringing of music and stuff, because that at least made you really have to, study the concentration of like, all right, I have to study music. I can't just listen to it passively and be kind of like, oh, whatever. Or I have to listen to my neighbor. That was a wrong note. Some people wouldn't even know, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you would just keep going. Dang, that thing is so out of tune. It sounds horrible.
Folks
Like for me, I just
you make it noticeable.
I swear, yeah. Or like, in sports too, like, yo, your shot is whack. That is not how you shoot a basketball. But but like other people just be letting
all them.
Right.
Yeah, or they're letting them go. Like, all right, sure, he can just shoot like this ugly form, and it's like, no, you gotta help fix that, And for me, like I said, luckily, naturally, the ears told me that sounds horrible. I mean, I'm gonna be nice about it, but man, I don't know if trumpet's for you, my dog. Like, you need to quit. And then that's why like so many of my friends just like fell off with band, or they didn't practice or whatever. And I'm like, well, I didn't practice either, but I was still like good enough. But it was funny that I had this like, I had to burn the bridge with music, not with music, but with band. It was in 10th grade, and I made it the first semester, but I think it was like I had a 68 in band. And bro, that blew my mind, because I'm just like, this is band we're talking about. How am I failing band?
Yeah, bro.
I love music. Like,
bro, somebody had a 32 in my high school band class, bro.
32?
We didn't even do nothing.
That's literally half
We
the
sat
score.
in there and played video games.
And how do you have a 32? You just not show up? Was it like
Had to be.
Yeah, that gotta be.
And it's like little like tests we'll have, but it's like tests but with 5 questions, because everybody that took the class was in marching band. So it's like, we're not doing anything until we leave school for practice.
That's
Bro,
insane.
How do you fail and we're playing around and you're failing?
Well, see, I mean
I don't know about that one.
I don't
always
know.
pass
We
band.
gotta you gotta
I'm
get
so- it's
you gotta
crazy,
get bro
bro.
on the podcast and be like, hey, what happened? What happened?
Yeah,
to you?
yeah, I'm like, hey man, has your life changed?
I'm
since
really
then?
not sure what happened to him in band. I mean, hopefully but like the point being of that is that just negative. I was like so negative on the outlook and hope of me making music, because I was like, screw this. And then I didn't pick up the trumpet ever again. I was like, forget this. This is garbage. Like, this is just baloney. And like for me, that I literally just became a quitter, which don't be like me. Don't do that. Like, don't let one little setback kind of throw you off of music. Or if your art teacher fails you because your painting sucks, it's like, yo, that painting could still go crazy in a museum. Like, they don't know. I think there's tons of other artists that are looked at crazy. Like, what? This is not art. This is trash. But then a year or two later, it's like, oh, what? Hey, look, I'm in this museum, or I just made it on the cover of Forbes, like, whatever kind of thing. So it's nice that, but again, to me, art shouldn't have this grading system per se.
It's all subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, with band, at least it was like the discipline. It's like, I had that grade because I wasn't disciplined in band, and I didn't practice my scales, and I didn't even take my trumpet home. So she knew I wasn't practicing the trumpet because I didn't take it home, of course. But for me, it just was like, this like spite feeling that I had, and I'm just like, and it wasn't towards her. Like, I love you, Miss Bradley, you're a real one, and I know you're still killing it to this day.
Shout out, Miss Bradley.
But I'm just like, I had my own in denial feeling, and it just sucks that stuck with me literally throughout like the rest of high school. And again, I kept having to look at that bad grade, being like, man, I'm like a straight A, high B student. I'm not like 4.0, super genius, anything crazy. But no, I took like school seriously and stuff, and that kind of stuff. Like, it's crazy to see that grade was the thing that kind of like hung over my head. But to me, it's honestly kind of like the fire that's like lit me up underneath and been like, oh yeah, like I failed band. I'm gonna show you how hard this beat is, or how hard this song is, or whatever. Like that's why. And again, that's not my like big motivating factor right now. But it's kind of cool that it's ironic that wait, you failed band, but you like literally make music all day now.
Bro, that's
same here.
You just set up the perfect
like, wait,
segue,
what?
bro, for like the main question of the whole podcast that we want to ask all the guests, bro. Because you just set it up for yourself. So I'm gonna let you take it away,
That's
bro.
why.
So,
Because he explained his growth just now, just in that example.
he really did.
So I'm gonna let you go ahead, man.
So what does growth mean to you?
Progression, honestly, and growth to me is like actually being able to see the progression. Because there's a difference. We can all tell ourselves, oh, I did good today. I got this little thing done or whatever. But honestly, it comes to a point where it's like, all right, you're lying to yourself. You're not that productive. You're going to get that much done. And we all fall victim to this. I do this all the time. Well, I used to. I'm working on, not doing that at all ever. But I think the biggest thing to actually see, what is growth, is seeing, how far you've come.
Right.
Like, whoa, I used to be this. But now, look at where I am. And, wow. I listen to my beats from 2016, 2015. They're not terrible, but dang, I can do so much more now, which is cool. And again, it's not even always like this one sounds horrible and now this one naturally sounds good. But it's just seeing like, the diverse skill sets and the different, like the knowledge, the mentality you have too. Because to me, it's about like mental growth too. It's not just about like accolades and how many trophies you have and how many plaques you have on the wall and that kind of crap.
Right.
Like, honestly, I don't think that stuff even really matters to a certain point, because it's all about like what's going on up here. Are you still, achieving and getting better every single day?
Right.
Or have you like plateaued years ago, but you're still living on that success you had 7 years ago from the song you recorded? Or, I produced that one song.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro, I could never live my life like that. Like, I promise you will not catch me in 5 years being like, I produced FDH by Light Skin Keisha, like, da-da-da-da. Like, that's the one, man. Like, that song crazy. I produced it, like, no. You know how many songs I'm going to have since then, too? I love that song. Don't get me wrong. I love that song. Keisha, you killed it. But, like, what?
Yeah.
That's not growth.
Yeah. It's not, bro.
That to me is complacency. That is stuck in the past.
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
down
stuck.
bad.
Yeah.
That is the struggle for real. Like, I don't want to be like that. Ugh. Yikes.
Man,
Or I always think of like, did you guys ever watch Napoleon Dynamite?
Mm-hmm.
Great film.
Facts.
Great film. Uncle Rico, bro. That is like the
You said what?
literally like him being like that. But I'm just like, Uncle Rico is like he's like portrayed as this cool character, and I don't know, for anyone that doesn't watch it, you just got to go watch the movie. I don't know how to explain it to you.
Go Google it so you can know where to watch that.
But he is literally the guy caught in the past that didn't grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, back in high school, I could throw the football over the mountains. Da, 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 da. Okay, bro, you're like 40 years old. What are you doing?
What did you do yesterday? What have you done in the past week
You didn't write anything.
that you can be proud of?
Yeah, and again, there's nothing wrong with like being proud of certain moments and certain things you've done. You definitely have to like recognize them and celebrate them and appreciate them. But
Can't get stuck on
man,
it for so
keep making
long.
progress.
Yeah.
And I think that's like what we talked about at the very beginning too. Is man, you just got to have like a really good balance between the both of those things, where you don't want to just constantly be that person that's like, I'm never satisfied, because that's just like lame. You're going to be up on the Grammy stage and still like, I'm not satisfied, or I should have got 4 Grammys. Like, bro, what? You just got a Grammy.
Right.
Why are you complaining?
Facts.
Or why are you...
Some folks still
Why are you in this mentality?
Still living and dying for that moment, bro.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. But like I said, is yes, we need to still strive for more, but you can't let these like, accolades and accomplishments come around and then you're just kind of like brushing them off like, whatever. Or I should have been the one that got this, that, because then again, when you let that stuff creep in and that becomes your habit, you're starting to view that way with everything. Ooh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yes.
That's horrible.
So you basically saying that you admire living in the present rather than like keeping the future like as your happiness type of thing.
Yeah, because you don't know the future.
Don't.
Yeah.
So how can you be happy in like chasing this false reality that you don't even know is going to happen? No matter what you do, you can't control it.
Facts.
Dang, that's crazy.
I can literally like pay for a placement, like, oh, I'm going to pay so-and-so X amount of money for this song to come out. It's going to change my life. Says who?
Yeah, that's facts.
The song could flop, bro.
Definitely could.
And again, this is all just like music stuff. It relates to anything in life, but you can't control it. You don't know what it's going to do.
That's true.
That's very true.
Y'all give it up for Mileage coming through on the podcast, man. Let's give it up for Mileage,
real,
man.
I'm like, yeah.
So yeah, man, we definitely appreciate you for coming through, man. If you can, let the people know where they can find you, follow you, hear your music, and what you got next coming up for yourself, man.
For sure, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you guys again for having me.
No
I'm honestly like, wow, okay, we finished. That felt quick. I was ready, man. I'm ready to give some more. I'm like,
be talking for hours, man.
Facts. Yeah, it's like, no. I like it short and sweet. It's fire. Well, yeah, Mileage. Definitely appreciate you guys tuning in for today. You can find me at social media, Proud by Mileage on everything. Produced by Mileage. Everyone says it wrong, but I'm working on getting the Mileage tag, so I'm just Mileage, but we're going to have to wait for that day.
That's crazy.
Honestly, I just got, I have nothing too crazy coming up. Just stay tuned if you want to, learn some more things or hear some more fire music coming out, all that kind of stuff with artists that I'm working with and other artists. Yeah, man, I don't know. Pretty much that. Stay tuned for more collabs we got. Stay tuned for more fire photos we're gonna have put together and other video content. We definitely got more on that end too.
Just the outsider. I want to be a part of the cool game.
I'm like, nah, you're already in there, bro. We're good. We're good. We got this.
You stupid, bro. You dumb, dog.
Anything you want to leave the people with, bro?
Hey, man, you heard what he said, bro. Don't chase this false reality, man. Live in the present. Be grateful
Quit
for
the
what
cap.
you got now.
Quit the cap.
Be grateful for what you got right now, man. That's all it's about, man. Every day, you feel me? Live in the present, not the future, because you don't know if that's going to happen. But like we always say, man, thank y'all for listening, and thank God for growth.
Peace.
Peace.
They said Trill made that shit.